Here we go. Listen, we are on another week of the Monday Huddle. I'm so grateful for all of the feedback, individuals just chiming in. I love that we get to be a part of your Monday. So we're going to dive right on in. We're not going to waste any time. Here we go.
I'm Derek.
And I am G.
Let's jump into the Monday Huddle.
Let's do it.
You know we're always inspired, motivated, moved by, on this particular episode, quotes.
No.
And we got a good one today.
We got a good one today.
Mr. Olin Miller. He said, if you want to make an easy job seem mighty hard, just keep putting off doing it. I'll say it one more time. If you want to make an easy job seem mighty hard, just keep putting off doing it.
Yeah. You know, I think that Mondays, it's a good initiator or a good day to initiate. But I think that procrastination is not a Monday issue.
You don't think so?
No, I think that procrastination is like a personality issue.
You think the same people that's procrastinating on Monday are procrastinating on Thursday?
Oh, man, absolutely. I think, well, I'm not going to say 100%.
Give me a number. Because I'm a numbers guy.
That's tough, man.
78%?
Right, so I want to say probably, I'm going to shoot high.
Okay.
So probably about 80 to 90% of individuals that procrastinate on Monday are just overall procrastinators.
So it's not, these are people that procrastinate with chores, with health. You're thinking procrastination isn't an isolated thing in one place. Procrastination is a lifestyle.
Yeah, procrastination is something that you practice in every area of your life. Like you procrastinate on good eating. You procrastinate on relationships. You procrastinate doing homework. You procrastinate on projects at work.
Man.
And so if you are a procrastinator as part of your personality, I want to say that's like an itis, like something like that. There's a diagnosis for it. There has to be a diagnosis for it.
What would we call procrastinosis? Procrastinitis. People like, you got that itis. You got that itis. So before we jump in, because I think we actually have some really cool points regarding procrastination that we want to point out today. And G's going to walk us through it. But I got to quote somebody else. This person says, I'll do it later, always turns into never getting it done. Yeah. That was you. You said that.
I did say that. You know, I realized it in my own personal life, right? I'm going to be 46 in like 26 days.
You don't look a day past 39.
Hallelujah.
Come on now.
And it took me 46 years to realize, like, I got to have some discipline in my life because I could be a procrastinator.
Yeah.
But the problem, we talked a little bit about the entrepreneurship last time and how, you know what I mean, like we're out there, we're grinding. We don't have like a weekend. Weekend is nothing to us, right?
Nothing.
There's no such thing as TGIF in our world.
Not an entrepreneurship.
But I realized that if you ain't working, guess what you ain't doing?
Making money.
You ain't making money. And time is ticking, and time is not going to slow down. People on, when I'm about to get up on a stage and folks are like, are you ready? I'm like, ready or not?
Yeah, here I come.
The time is here. And so have you ever went on a trip and got up on the stage, you had a microphone, and you didn't feel prepared?
Have I? Man, I prepared pretty well. But I've gotten up there a couple of times. And I feel like maybe I didn't spend as much time with the content that I wanted to. And it had nothing to do with the content itself. It had to do with everything with my preparation. And so when I don't procrastinate, I kill it. When I do, it's okay. I never really suck, folks. I'm a professional.
Well,
I'm a professional. You know, I never really bomb an event, but I know my quality of it. So when I procrastinate and I don't prepare, I'm just okay. But when I prepare and I don't procrastinate and I get things in order, I kill it.
You know, this is what I realize in public speaking. When I'm ready, like I kill it, and I'm precise, and I hit every point, and it's not long.
Yeah.
When I don't prepare, I'm up there like I don't know how to end.
Yeah. Because we're trying to find our way through it. Right? It's like we're just trying to elaborate because we know we didn't prepare. We're trying to say more words to make us feel like we really got it. We're telling all the speaker secrets today, by the way. If you are
like
a speaker,
all the magic tricks.
I know, we are so sorry, but not really. Just prepare. You don't have to be up there for an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half. This isn't research, right?
That's right.
But when we talk about moving and motivating people as speakers and entrepreneurs, it's something that we're up there to do. It doesn't take all day to do it.
That's right.
And when we're on assignment and we're not procrastinating and we're prepared, then we're able to be precise. And I think that's good. G, I want you to talk to us a little bit about this procrastination cycle that you prepare for us today?
So there's a cycle out. In doing a little bit of research, you realize that first you got to have a task, right? Oftentimes, if you're not trying to do something, you're not procrastinating anything. That's a whole different conversation, a whole nother conversation, not for today. But individuals that are about to do anything that is worth anything, you start off with the task first, right? And then giving attention to that task. The moment that you don't give the attention that is required for that task, the moment that it's not like helpful and you just don't value it and there's no worth and you're just gonna put it to the side and you're just gonna shelf it, right? Have you ever shelved anything in your life and you're just kind of like, I got to do it, but not right now?
I have, absolutely. And I think, and I'll get to an example, but I think what he's saying, to elaborate on it, is that you got to have something to procrastinate on, right? So for people that don't have nothing, there's no procrastination. You just aren't driven, right? You just have no purpose, no passion that you can immediately identify. So for those people, they have nothing to procrastinate on. Procrastination only takes place when you have a task that you're supposed to do that you're not doing. And so for me, like when I think about tasks that I've put off, part of it is like health, part of it is like writing books, part of it is like content, part of it is sending out texts that I want to connect with people, part of it is like not stacking my day so tight so that like when one thing runs long, it goes to another. I got a confession today, folks. I showed up late for our recording. But G was so gracious.
He did.
And it wasn't even like 5 minutes late. It was like mad late. But it's because my day was packed so tight that I didn't plan it out well, right? So when I think about having a task, I think having a task initially is so important, and then giving the attention and detail to that task is what prevents us from procrastinating.
So check this out, right? So you have a task. You mentioned health.
Yes.
That's a great example, right? Everyone wants to do or should do better with their health.
Agreed.
So when we don't see value in doing better with our health, right? We just kind of put it off. We put it off. And then we see what we like and we just kind of like, right? And then you got a heavy schedule and you're like, oh man, I haven't eaten today. Let me stop in here and get this.
Whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, until it hurts more than it feels good, then you will not then pay attention to that thing, right?
Yeah.
So oftentimes people have a health concern, have a health issue, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I got to eat better.
Yeah.
Well, you could have prevented that.
Absolutely.
Right? And so I think that if your task is a better, healthy diet, then we have to give attention to it now every single day. There's, and we're talking about Mondays, and so Monday's meal prep, right? If you want to talk about health and we're talking about Mondays, then what can we do starting Monday to set us up for the week? And so that you don't start Monday and you have an idea and a hope, and then Tuesday, your week is getting super heavy, and so now you're just going to grab whatever, and then Wednesday you don't eat and your body is starving itself, and so we have to understand the task and then give it the level of importance that it needs, so that we can actually give it the attention that it needs, and not get to a place of like, oh, like I'm about to die, so now let me make some changes.
Yeah. Monday is really a good example for when you think about health and wellness, because people start. They start at New Year's, they start new months, they start new seasons, and Monday is it's representative of new. And so I think in order for us to attack Mondays in the weeks well, we got to make sure that we have tasks lined up. Talk to us about number 2. Okay. Part number 2 of the procrastination cycle.
So the assumption that you could just put it off later and it's gonna be all right.
Ooh.
Right. So you assume you were late. You were like, you know what? G's my boy. He'll understand. He's cool. I gotta make this meeting, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and let G know he'll be all right. He's gonna love me through it. We'll be all right. And so we assume that it's gonna be all right.
Absolutely.
Right. And so that's kind of like the first level, the first layer right there.
Yeah.
And so we cannot assume. You have a task. Don't assume that it's gonna be okay. Don't assume that you're just gonna bypass it. Don't assume that that if you don't do it Monday, that you can just do it Tuesday or Wednesday.
Ooh, that's good.
So this is what I realized, right? In speaking, since kind of what we're doing and what we kind of give our attention to. Yeah. I realized that there were times where I had an engagement like on a Thursday or Friday. Yeah. Right. And I should have prepared starting Monday. Right. I give it days so that I could sit on it, let it just marinate. So I was like, you know what? I'll just jump on it on Wednesday. Ooh. And then and I'll be prepared. And then Monday rolls, I'm like, I do what I want. See, this is the problem with procrastination. You put off what you need to do for what you want to do.
It's a quote machine. This dude's a quote machine.
I know. So Wednesday comes along.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, my daughter's tire blows out. My kids have to go to the urgent care.
Everything's gonna happen.
You know, bombs are exploding.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday comes along, and I'm sitting here Thursday morning, like, yo, what am I gonna talk about?
Oh my gosh! Hoping that gift and that talent kicks in.
Oh my gosh!
You know, would you say this when you're talking about like making those assumptions?
Mm-hmm.
So number one, talking about tasks. Number two, talking about making assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that people that are really talented, they make the assumption that their gift and their talent will cover their procrastination?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that there's some things that we do and we do well.
Yeah.
And so we just pull stuff off the shelves.
Yeah.
And we'll just say, well, I'll just do that again.
Yeah.
And I'll just cover that. I've done this before, so I'll just make it happen. I've done this project before, so I'll just pull out the numbers from last time.
Right.
Or you know what I mean? I've spoken before. I'm just gonna pull something old out.
Yeah.
And the reality is that sometimes we live our life based off of past successes.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
And so you're like, yo, I knocked it out the park last time with it. Let me pull it out. And so for you to continue to grow, you got to pull stuff out the oven.
Ooh, not the shelf. Oh, gee, that's another one. In order for you to be great, you got to stop pulling stuff off the shelf and pull it out of the oven. That means it's cooking.
Warm. Have you had like warm bread after it came out of the oven? It's like, oh my God.
That's different than the stuff in the bag on the shelf. Absolutely different.
Absolutely.
So I think for us, when we're talking about attacking this Monday, right, we got to first have tasks. Number two, we got to stop making assumptions. The assumption is that if I don't get it done today, I can get it done tomorrow. And lots of times, I think that is true for people that are pulling their health around, that are trying to pull their marriages around, that are trying to pull their relationships around, trying to pull their companies around. I think we've had enough success stories of the people who delayed, and did it.
That's right.
But I know enough people who wanted to wait an extra day, and that extra day was too late. I know marriages where people are like, I'll just apologize tomorrow, and people have died. Or the wife or the husband, they were fed up.
Oh, that's life.
Or you thought you were going to talk to your kid, and your kid went out, and that was the last time you saw him. Or you thought something about it. Like, I know enough people that made the assumption that Tuesday would come, and it never did.
And it never did.
And so for us, when we're thinking about lining those tasks up, one, we got to identify where we need to conquer the task that needs to take place. And then number two, let's not make assumptions that if we don't get it done today, we'll get it done tomorrow.
That's right. I love that because I am very task driven. And I said that last time, and I'll say it every time because I'm like about the task. I love that you just reeled it back to life. Yeah. You know, because so often we're talking about task and immediately my mind goes to work, right? Sometimes the task is asking for forgiveness.
Yes, yes, right? My sir.
Yes. Sometimes the task is being dad.
Yeah.
You know, like why do dads do this? Like when mom is leaving, we say, I got to babysit.
Yeah, I gotta watch the kids. Like they're not mine. I mean, I can't go. I gotta watch the kids, bro. I got to babysit. Like they somebody else's kids.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So I love that you just reel it back. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that being able to get to a place of like the task is whatever it is that you have to give attention to. Yeah. That is the task. That's so good.
That is the task. And then not making assumptions. Talk to us. We're going to breeze through 3 through 7. We'll drop these just really quickly on you. But we want to make sure that we don't get so far down the line that you don't forget about the starting point, right? There's a cycle. There's the procrastination cycle. But in order to enter into the cycle, you got to dominate the start, right? We want to break the cycle. We want to break these generational things. We want to break these habits. We want to break these things that are preventing us from being great and stop pulling stuff off the shelf and pull it out of the oven. So, G, we got to get going. Talk to us about number 3.
So, number 3 is perceived discomfort. A lot of times we procrastinate, we put it off because we feel like it's going to hurt. Yeah. Oh, I got to sit down and write this paper.
Oh, my goodness.
I got to apologize. Oh, I got to go with the kids. So that perceived discomfort is something that we have to navigate through. It ain't going to be that bad. I promise you that once you do it and once you get done, you're just going to feel like all the weight and all the anxiety is going to fall off your shoulders.
Man, sometimes I'll be sitting in bed and I'll be like, well, I try not to get in the bed like with the day on me, but sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I got to get in the shower. I gotta get undressed. I gotta like turn the water on. I gotta bathe, and then I have to do that. I gotta brush my teeth, and I gotta wash my face, and I gotta. Before I know it, I wake up next morning. I'm on the floor. Yeah. Because I don't like to get in the bed dirty. So isn't that a shame? I'd much rather sleep on the floor then take a shower and get into bed. Like my wife is like, just get in. I'm like, I will not get into bed. She's like, so you gonna sleep on the floor? And I'm like, yes. And it makes sense to me in a moment, right? But for us, when we think about perceived discomfort of doing the task, sometimes we build up the discomfort to this monumental size, and it's really small. It reminds me of like in scary movies when there's this shadow coming around the corner and the shadow's really big, and when the thing comes around, it's really small, and the light was like up close, and so it made it big on the wall. Like I think we do that a lot with our tasks.
Absolutely.
Before we even address the task, we make them out to be these big bad monsters, and it's so uncomfortable. It's gonna take so long to go that we never really jump into doing it, and so the big monster turns into Tuesday.
That's right.
And it turns into Wednesday, and then we get back on Monday again, and the same thing that was on our list last Monday is on there this Monday because we build it up in our minds.
That's right.